Let's Uncommon Fossil, taking a look at Greninja EX, one of the new Pokemon that came out in Twilight Masquerade. It's a pretty effective deck, and I gotta say, I find it to be a pretty fun deck. The Greninja EX Stage 2, it's a Terra type, it terastallizes from Water type to Fighting type, so which is a not a bad weakness to hit for. Obviously, it's weak to Psychic, so if we run into Psychic like Gardevoir, things get a lot tougher. But two attacks, which make the deck interesting to play. For 1 water energy, Shinobi Blade does 170, and you may search your deck for a card and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So that's super, super awesome. Searching your deck for any one card, and 170 damage isn't bad, especially for 1 energy, so we can power things up. 1 turn, that's awesome. And then it also lets us use the second attack, which is important too. Mirage Barrage for water psychics, water colorless, sorry. You discard 2 energies in this Pokemon, which you can just detach a double turbo, and then it does 120 to your opponent's Pokemon. It doesn't obviously hit for weakness or resistance on the bench. You're supposed to, if you have a double turbo attached, you should be doing 100 to each of the Pokemon, because the double turbo is supposed to be in effect until after the damage is done. That's the official ruling. I have looked that up, so I know that's correct. However, live is bugged at the moment, or at least it was last time before recording the games for this video. I assume it still is, and it does the full 120 even if you are discarding. I have a double turbo. It's kind of, I know the way the wording is, it says to discard the energy then do the damage, so it seems like it should, like 120 is the correct answer, but it actually should be 100. That's official ruling at that Pokegym is the place to go for the official rulings there. So 3 Greninja EXs. We play I play 1 of the stage 1s, which is helpful, Frogadier, and we can attack with it. It's not great, but Numbing Water does 20 damage, and you flip a coin. If heads, it's paralyzed, which is okay. And then 4 Froakies, 3 of the 70 HP Froakie, and then 1 of the 60 HP Froakie. Obviously, with Dragapult EX, 60 HP Pokemon are kind of scary, but it has the Flock attack. Search your deck for 2 Froakie, put them onto your bench, so really good for setting up. So I like having the option of having 1 with the 60 HP Froakie. And then we play a 4/4 line of the Froslass, also new from Twilight Masquerade, although we play a different basic, an older basic, because it has the collect attack, which is just nice to have. Or it's not great, but if you're bricking, drawing a card is better than nothing at all. But Froslass Freezing Shroud ability, during checkup you put a damage counter on each Pokemon that has an ability, both yours and your opponent's. Except for Froslass, and the only Pokemon we play with an ability is Froslass, so it does 10 between each turn, so that means from the end of your turn till you have your next turn again, it's doing 20 damage, right? Pokemon checkup happens at the end of each player's turn, and you can get multiple, and it does stack, so very nice there. The animation, I gotta say, in live is very slow, and I think depending how it goes, it eats into potentially your opponent's turn, the timer does, which isn't great, but live hopefully will fix that. And then 1 Cleffa can be the best, kind of a good starter for going second. Grasping Draw for no energy, you draw the F7 cards in hand, and we do play the TM Evolution in the deck, right? I'm pretty sure, yes, we do. So, and that's always good as well. For energies, we play 3 double turbo, 6 basic water. A 4th double turbo just to help stream attacks would be good, because once we can't recover these energies, the double turbos. So, but I think deck space, I don't have room for a 4th double turbo in the deck, and usually you're using the first attack a decent amount as well. All right, supporters here, playing 3 Irida. That obviously makes sense with the water, has some important water Pokemon, search for water Pokemon, and an item card. For Arvens, we have a couple important tools, we'll get to those, and obviously look for an item there. We play 1 Professor Turo Scenario. The Greninja EX, we can get that out of play. That's one of the things to do there, which is nice. 2 Ionos, 1 Boss. The A spec, so I'm just looking at here at the bottom, Unfair Stamp, because we're not doing huge damage. The game's are a little bit on the slow side, but it's okay. We're making a lot of decisions, and we're trying to control what happens. So a reset stamp. You have to be knocked out during an opponent's last turn. And then each player shuffles their hand in their deck. You draw 5, your opponent draws 2. A very nice item card there, so I think it makes sense as the 8-spec. Getting Pokemon in play, we have 4 Buddy-Buddy Poffin, 2 Nest Balls, and 3 Ultra Balls in the deck. For search for water energies, we do play 2 Earthen Vessels, 1 Switch card, 3 Rare Candies. So we have 1 of the stage 1, 3 Rare Candies, and that should be enough, but you know, do have to be careful about that there for sure. 2 Counter Catchers. We are kind of a slower deck sometimes. We can search for our 1 card every turn with Greninja EX. Look, I know you're going to get Iono'd some. I get that objection, but you're not going to get Iono'd every turn. So you will get the card you're looking for sometime. The problem is you're not going to know which turns it'll be necessarily, so pay attention to things like Iono and Judge in the discard pile. Try to figure out the odds of things. This is important in all these games. 1 Lost Vacuum, get rid of a tool or a stadium in play. One of the tools, we play TM Devolution, which is very disruptive to a number of our opponents, so that's really good. And also, if we have an evolution Pokemon that's getting, say, enough damage from our Froslasses, we can devolve it, and then the lower stage Pokemon might be at, you know, wait till it's at the point where it gets knocked out. We can knock out potentially a bunch of Pokemon with 1 TM Devolution. That feels really good too. 1 Super Rod, TM Evolution, because it just helps us set up. 1 Pal Pad, just to help stream our supporters. So that's the list, a pretty solid list, I think. And like I said, the deck's pretty effective, and it's also pretty fun to play. Let's take a look at it in action. All right, let's see how things go here. We'll go first if I get the chance, and I do get the chance. So, you know, it's maybe the deck should be built. Maybe I should toss another TM Evolution or something. But I think this deck is fine being patient. So I'm going first. How do I want to work this? Yeah, actually, this Froakie's pretty good. So, and I have to think about what I do here. So don't know what I'm up against with the Radiant Greninja. Froslass, that's good. It's a pretty decent hand. I'm just going to attach here and end turn. Right, this is the 60 HP Froakie, which can draw me some more, which is good. And I might just use that. I have to get a water energy attached though, and so I don't want to waste double turbos, right? So there's a bit of a risk attaching the double turbo if he gets knocked out or something. All right, so it's Goldengo. Okay, Goldengo's all right. So everything they're going to play is going to have an ability. Assuming they're playing though the Dunsparce, Froslass isn't going to get through them because they toss them out of play consistently. Now they're going to have to. If I get enough Froslasses in play, they can't keep them around an extra turn to save it, which can be a good play for them. So it does put a little bit of pressure on them, I will say. So kind of seeing what happens here. All right, ditching a boss, that's always nice. Oh, that's don't love that play from them. Getting a Goldengo, which they can't play till next turn, and I'm looking at probably playing Iono here. So that's, you know, even if I didn't, you know, it's always a risk. I'm going to Iono, get disrupted. You really shouldn't search for a card for next turn. It also lets me know they have it. So even if I couldn't hand disrupt, I now know they're going to attach Goldengo this turn. So they play Palkia as well, which makes I mean, it's kind of odd, but it makes a lot of sense. And discarding a metal energy, they would have preferred to discard a water energy. See what happens here. See what they discard. All right, discarding Roxanne. So they'll probably attach a metal this turn in the water energy unless they can discard it. They'll save it for next turn for Radiant Greninja. I'm going to Iono them though, so that's not really going to work. Attaching active. Okay, I mean, it gets an energy in the discard pile. I guess. I don't know if that's the better play or not for them, but it's what they chose to do, obviously. So I'm gonna, let's see. Get 2 energies here. I think I do want to think I should get another Pokemon on the bench, though, shouldn't I? I'll get down another Froakie on the bench just to be safe with that. And then I Iono here. See what happens. Partly that by digging in my deck, it did clear up some bench space. All right, got the Rare Candy, so super nice there. So I can take out the 2 Gimme Ghouls. I'm going to do that. I'm pretty certain about that. And I will drop down another Snorunt. Let's just take a look at what I got here. 2 Froslasses, more in deck. So I have 1 in play. That's pretty good. And I will attack, and I will discard the double turbo. It should only do 100, but it's doing 120 because the game's still bugged. 90 to the active because they have resistance, but that's enough to knock them out. All right, drew my 4th Froslass. That's quite nice as well. So this is coming together quite nicely. So, and all their Pokemon are going to have abilities, right? The Palkia V-Star has an ability. Everything does. So this is quite nice for sure. And I don't know that they can attack with Palkia. I'm trying to think. Is Palkia... I think it's 2 water energy. I think. All right. Well, they got all tools, all items, so they might be happy about that. All right. So they're going to grab Palkia V-Star, I guess. We'll find out. And they can use their V-Star power this turn. They're not doing huge damage, though. Okay, Manaphy, which is fine. Now, look, Manaphy is kind of nice, though. Manaphy's the 2-edged sword against Radiant Greninja. I mean, against Greninja EX. Sorry, I got to stop doing that. Because he's got an ability, and he's going to get knocked out in a couple turns. So unless they keep Penny or Turing him out of play and slapping him back down, and that's burning through their resources, right? And they... I mean, there is Scoop Up Cyclone. They could play that, right? They haven't played a supporter yet, but generally using your supporter to get that Pokemon out of play, and just to protect the Manaphy, you don't really want to be burning your supporter for that. So I don't know if they have Palkia, so they chose not to go for Palkia V-Star, I think. Pretty sketchy there, I will say. But you know, I'm happy, right? I am very happy here. So this is good. This is good. I will Irida. Get another Snorunt because I just want to keep this. I just want to keep pounding this into them. Actually, maybe I'll grab a Froslass here and I'll get both Snowrunts into play here. So just keep up the pressure is my thought here. Get these Snowrunts down. I will attach energy to the guy on the bench just in case things go terribly wrong. And I will attack. Search my deck for... That's a good question. What do I want to get? Now, because I might get Iono, right? That's one of my concerns. So what if they... You know, how do I want to work this? It's one of those things you don't want to get all the good cards stacked in your hand because that doesn't go well for you. So I'm going to grab a boss. No, I'm going to grab an Irida. Okay. So, because, if I could grab the second Froslass, which would be really good, but if I get Iono, then I definitely don't get a Froslass in hand, but maybe I should have. But I have an Ultra Ball, we'll see what happens. I'd like to keep this hand, obviously. I already had some good cards in hand without that. So I take out the Palkia next turn. They're in a lot of trouble. So they're getting 2 cards that they want here. Say for Max Code Breaking, and then they'll toss away the energy with Radiant Greninja. They get those 2 cards. So they can attack with Palkia. They can't one-shot me. If they played, what do they get to? Do they get close enough to be able to knock me out with the tool? Because I just don't know what A-Spec they're playing, right? Which does 50 more. Let's think. They are, what, 60? So it's 5, 10, 11, 12. So they do 260. So they with the tool, they do knock me out with Palkia. Obviously, Goldango can knock me out. They need a lot of cards, though. And, you know, that's the catch-up on my prizes. I will take out the Manaphy when it goes to their turn. So I'll take up, I have one kind of a, quote, free prize there. And so we'll see what happens here. But as long as the Manaphy's don't play, I cannot hit the bench, right? So that's one thing. I didn't grab the double turbo because I wasn't planning until the Manaphy's out of play. There's no, not going to smack the bench, right? Could have grabbed the boss, which still would have been a nice play as well. Maybe I should have done that, right? Because gusting up the Palkia is good. The Palkia V-Star has an ability, so, you know, evolving him starts to get a little scary for them. They need 2 energies to retreat, so they, you know, so now they can't attach Manaphy to Palkia. So I'm not sure how they're going to work this. Also, I do have the TM Devolution. I don't have access to that this turn. I don't have Arven. I mean, I could draw into it, but I don't have access to it. The TM Devolution could be good as well. The basics are, what, 50? So I can kind of wipe. TM Devolution might wipe out their board one turn. I can take 1, 2. I might be able to take out the Palkia and the basic Palkia, the 2 Gimme Ghouls in one turn. So my opponent conceded. Look, I was in a very good spot. They were trying to make some plays, but yeah, it wasn't probably a great matchup for them. The Froslass in decks with lots of Pokemon, lots of abilities makes it rough. And yeah, I got going and got a nice win that game. All right, choosing heads here. You know, see how things go. See if I'm first or second, and see obviously how it does. So I'm going to go first because that is my preferred strategy. Just this is a deck that it's because you're searching for the X1 card every turn, it can start a little bit slow. Don't know if I'm going to get knocked out, so that makes it a little risky. So I'm going to chuck up the Snorunt here, protect my Froakie. That's part of my thought process. Okay. So they weren't probably going to attack this turn. What was that TM? Was it? I need to look at that. TM Devolution. Okay, that's what I was thinking. So just want to be aware of that, which does... Oh, no, don't do that. So getting the... Okay, that's kind of nice. 2 Froslasses. Look, my Snowrunts, I think, are gonna eat them up. That's what I'm thinking here. So the Froslass is also a 1 retreat cost. I have Arven. I can get. I got to think this through, though. Have to think it through. So they're gonna. It gets tricky. Right, but I mean, they're gonna have a ton of abilities for me. Now, look, they're setting up to get, like, they're gonna be searching for whatever card they want. Like, actually, they're gonna be searching, if they get set up, they're searching for what right now, potentially 3 cards per turn, which is just insane, right? So they don't knock me out. Okay, they do less damage. I'm happy about that. It probably doesn't matter. Wait, oh, okay, that's what they had there. All right, so evolve you. I have energy here. So I think I want to get a rare candy, right? Rare candy. But let me just look at this. Then I have to discard 2 cards. I still need the energy, though, right? So... I'm going to have to ditch a card, right? TM Devolution could be really awesome, though, right? I think that could be great later, so I'm going to chuck that away. Because I have to attach energy to make this work. Don't love the feel here, but it is what it is, right? So I have to keep an energy to attach. I have to... It's awkward, right? I'm certainly vulnerable two things here. So we'll see how it goes. What do I grab? Maybe I just grab a rare candy. Do I just grab a rare candy? Maybe. I do take the knockout, which I like. I'll grab an Arven, which gets me the rare candy if I need it, right? What's the rare candy count, by the way? Okay, 2 there. Okay, I mean, I'd like to get some more. I'd like to get a stage 1, whatever the stage 1's called, which I'm blanking on right now. I gotta look that one up. Stage 1, the Frogadier. Yeah, Frogadier, Froakie, Frogadier, Greninja. So I'd like to get to stage 1, so then I'm okay with the TM Devolution play. So they're going to knock out a Froslass, which makes sense. Oh, no, they just ended turn. That's not terrible. Okay, that's actually all right. I have Switch in deck, right? I got a double turbo as well. Let's see what I have here. Do I have Switch? I have Switch. I'll grab a tool as well. I mean, I think I wait to knock him out, right? Might as well take 2 prizes here, I think. 2 prizes seems good. Yeah. Take out the Diplin and take out a Thwackey. So that kind of cripples them. And honestly, the Frostlasses are going to give them a lot of grief as well. So anyway, I think that was, I don't, okay. And yeah, because so the nice, I didn't have a good hand, but I drew, it was good, but I took 2 prizes and I got very nice prizes. So now I'm in very nice shape. Whatever happens, would like to, I want to get my other Frostlasses set up because Frostlass will ruin their day. Their day's kind of ruined already. They're down 3 prizes already, and they haven't gotten going. They did a boss stall, which was the right play, but that was it, right? So, and I think they've stopped. Looks like they've stopped playing, which I don't love that, right? I mean, it's gone badly for them. I get it. But just hit the concede button. I just would ask that. We're all in a community together, so just stalling things, just dragging things out doesn't make a lot of sense. And I think they've walked away from the game. It appears. I could be wrong. We'll see if they actually do anything. Which assuming. Look, I'm just gonna say this. Assuming the game just kind of, my opponent doesn't do anything again. I set up. They got to a bad spot and walked away from the game. That's unfortunate, but my deck did its thing, and so the video for this, if it ends at this point, it's because they did nothing and I just won eventually. All right, so my opponent didn't take any actions like expected, won the game. Look, I had beaten them up, and they walked away from the game. That's always, like I said, frustrating. But look, the Greninja EX, it's a fun deck. I like this the searching. Oh, level 79. Let's see what rewards I get there. Oh, actually got something useful. Got a few credits there, so that's good. Usually it's just coins, which, I mean, it's fine. I don't object to coins, but they aren't very meaningful. So anyway, just gonna do this deck. Very good deck. Would I like another rare candy? Yes. Would even another stage 1 possibly? But again, deck space is the issue. Could drop the Cleffa maybe. How often? But the Cleffa is useful. The Cleffa, when going second, is what you really want in the active. Then you do have. I'd play 1 Turo. I can get that out of play, or something that's damaged, right? Because ultimately you do want to get the 4 Frostlasses. The Frostlass is very disruptive to a lot of decks. The 170 isn't huge off Greninja, but that kind of, you 2-shot everything, which is okay as long as we're tanking some hits, and obviously getting some extra damage on Froslass. Decks without abilities or Froslass doesn't come into play. That's a much tougher struggle. But fortunately, abilities are really great in the Pokemon TCG, and Froslass really takes advantage of that. So I encourage you to give this deck a try. I think it's a strong deck and it's a lot of fun. So play some Pokemon and take care.